Hey all, quick sort of garage infrastructure video, mostly because I got a new toy and I want to show it off. So this is my current tool cabinet. It's a vintage Craftsman from the 80s. I actually really like it. It's a nice cabinet. This is not a professional grade one, but it's a pretty good one. Drawers slide okay, whatnot. I like the overall setup. Problem is I've run out of space. This 3-drawer unit is supposed to be between those two, but it makes it so tall that my partner can't reach the stuff in the top. And it's full. It's not packed, but it's full. So there's sort of, I'm just running out of room. And this unit, which is a Harbor Freight unit, I like, but when I build my new benches, I have a plan for modifying this to give me more bench space, which involves not having stuff on top of it. Since I can't move this in the middle here, and I don't have room to take all the stuff that's in these and put them in there, I'm kind of SOL on the storage front. So I had to give up, decide I am getting rid of this toolbox and buy something new. So yes, that's ready for paint. We're going to get to that in another video. I bought myself this. This is a Harbor Freight unit. It's the same width as that. It's the same 26-inch width, but it's deeper. These are 22, I want to say, and that one's 18. And the drawers just end up being massive by comparison. So I end up with far more storage space. It's about the same height as the existing unit. It's mismatched because I wanted it all in black, but they didn't have a black one in top. Wouldn't have it for another month. I'm impatient. So I got the red one, but I got the black one as this floor model. So how much I saved on this makes me feel better about the fact that this doesn't match. But either way, what I need to do is clean up the shop so that I can get it over to the other side of the shop. And then I need to move all the tools over and do some organizing. So I'm going to actually set you up as a time lapse up on top of this. All right, well, as you can see from that video, the place isn't completely clean, but it's cleaner. I've got an open center now here instead of having to dodge around stuff. And at the very end, you saw me actually get the tape measure out and measure that, because I swear that one's narrower than the other one, but every time I measure them, they're the same width. That one just looks so much narrower. So what I got to do now, find a place for that door for the moment, and then get that out, which is going to be fun because only 2 of the casters swivel. And then get the other one in there, which is going to be fun because only 2 of the casters swivel. It may end up being easier, obnoxiously enough, to pull this one out and then pull that one out and then put the other one in and then put this one back in, but whatever. We're going to go back to time-lapse while you watch me fight with multiple giant toolboxes. Got them both in place, and you saw me in the video jack this long one up and slide something under the wheels. I've got a couple little skids under the wheels basically that raise the front and also act like wheel chock so it doesn't move, because whoever poured the slab in this garage, it slopes up very slightly when you get to the wall. I think it's probably for drainage, but it means that the last couple of inches towards the wall are like a quarter to a half an inch higher than by the time you get to the front of everything. So everything has to be kind of done. So I made similar ones for this. I made them a little higher on this. So this is actually, instead of being level, this is actually tipped back very, very slightly. The idea behind that is I'd rather a drawer want to close than want to open, because if it's tipped this way, if they're partially open or whatever, they'll be able to do this, but if it's tipped this way, they'll want to do that, so that it never accidentally ends up in a situation where there's too much weight and it falls over, because holy shit, that would be a lot of weight to fall on you or just fall on whatever. So these are now both in place. Like I said, I've got plans for that one, so it's going to move again. But for now, they're both in place. So now it's a matter of get all my tools into it, start figuring out where I want things, start labeling things, that kind of stuff. I'm not sure exactly where everything's going again, but yeah, I'm gonna get all my tools into it so I can get the other ones out of here. And then if I don't like where stuff is, I can move it over. That's very minor. But yeah, so it's in, and it actually barely sticks out, like it's barely even noticeable. So that's good. And yeah, gonna get to it. Actually looks kind of cool having black and black and red and red. Sadly, this is not staying. All right, going back in time lapse. Enjoy. The old unit is now empty, other than odds and ends trash that I need to just clean up out of it. The whole thing's going to need to be probably scrubbed or power washed or something, and then I'm going to throw it up on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever. Because it's still a really good unit. Like, this is a really nice toolbox. It just doesn't unfortunately suit my needs anymore. I will say I am going to miss this unit just because I've had it for a while. It's always treated me super well, and it's just got a lot of memories. You know, weird stuff like when I bought it, it came with its keys on a pelvis and spine keychain. You know, stickers that I've added over the years, stickers that it came with. It's got a lot of personality. I am going to miss this toolbox, but life moves on. So, I am not going to make you sit through me putting labels on everything, but I'm just going to kind of show you where I am. Right now, zip ties live up here. I'm sure there'll be other stuff that'll end up living up here, but for right now it's just zip ties. We've got all of my ratchet handles in here. This isn't all of my tools because a bunch of them are in there and I can't get at them because I closed the car up, but it's most of them. We got the ratchet drive handles, we've got swivels, adapters, all that kind of stuff in here. Nothing over here yet. Gonna figure out what I'm gonna put there. Here I've got sockets. I'm gonna get some more socket holders or dividers or whatever. I'm planning to buy a bunch of new sockets because I'm missing a few from each size at this point. I haven't decided whether I'm going to fill them in or whether I'm going to buy new sets. That's why I haven't nailed this down. So I just kind of laid everything else and get an idea of what kind of space it's going to take up. This is all weird odds and ends sockets back here. The plan is that there'll be a divider here between that stuff that I use rarely and the stuff that I use all the time. This is wrenches, SAE, American Standard, other in the middle here. Right now I've got the ratchets, the smalls and the mediums. What I'm probably going to do is make these different size gradations and then sort them that way. The like nice neat racks with all of them has never worked for me. One, because I have a couple of different sets, so I have duplicates of stuff, because I've found that if I don't have two of a wrench, I'll need two of a wrench. And also I'm just not that organized. But if I have a general sort of category, they'll go in there. This is a thing about me that I've discovered is obsessive organization, as in everything has a place to go, is the only way I ever clean up. But obsessive organization to the point where this is the slot it goes in, I don't manage. So this is kind of the level, like, a general area that it goes in is the best I can ever sort of manage. But SAE on this side, metric on this side, which follows the drawer above, metric, SAE, just to make it simpler, that'll all be labeled. Screwdrivers, flathead Phillips, Allens, picks, other odds and ends, including like ratchets and whatnot. Doing this made me realize my screwdrivers are trash. I got a bunch of leftovers from a bunch of different sets, most of which are in poor shape. So I need to buy all new screwdrivers. That's going to be coming up soon. Wrenches, cutting tools, blah, blah, you know, anything of this that moves this way or this way in here. There's a bunch more that I'm missing that are out somewhere, but that's all generally going to go in there. Big stuff, TM, including a torque wrench, breaker bar, different kind of breaker bar, my big screwdriver / pry bars, my big honkin' wrenches. I've always had a drawer of big stuff, so that makes sense to me logically. This is cutting things, knives, blades for them, scissors, tin snips. Here I've got measuring things other than tape measures. Tape measures have their own space. I'll actually show you. That's where all my tape measures live. It's actually a yardstick screwed to the wall that has "put the tape measures here" written on it, and then the tape measures go on there. I have more tape measures than fit on there because I can never find all of them at once. But this is kind of everything else. Angle, temperature, all that kind of stuff goes in here. I don't know what's going to go on this side yet, but hey, look, spare space. This is car tools, i.e. stuff that's specific to vehicle repairs and is not just general use. Brake tools back here, trim thing, brake spoon, battery terminal cleaner, spring clips, for pickle forks for ball joints and tie rods, 2 different gear pullers. This is brake fittings and brake washers just for a place for them to live. Tire patch kit. Hammers, simple enough. I've got one dolly. I'm actually getting some more hammers and dollies because I'm doing all this body work, but I haven't gotten them yet. Pry bars and easy outs, impact drivers, nut splitters, pop rivet tool in here just because I don't have a better place for it to live. This one's completely empty, so look, more extra space. Oh, this is so nice. And then air stuff, air tools, the accessories for the air tools, impact sockets. I actually have to buy new impact sockets because a lot of these are in very poor shape. And then this is the gross stuff drawer. You saw me taping in this. This is actually the piece of plastic that protected the upper box when it was in its box. But the lower compartment that these came out of in the other toolbox is disgusting because grease, brake fluid, everything has leaked in there. So this is my attempt to maybe keep this nice. So I tape that in and then I put the thing in here so when I drop something it doesn't just punch a hole in it. But grease gun, adapter for doing wheel bearings, vacuums for doing brake bleeding, other brake bleeder bits. This is just my thing I use for brake fluid when I'm brake bleeding. But yeah, there's that. And then over here I have my cordless big tools, cordless smaller tools. Batteries live here, as well as I just have so many of these dang DeWalt things. I have a spare one. Flashlights, diagnostic tools. I put a couple things that I found in the other one that fit better here. The timing light. I also have a vacuum pressure gauge that goes in there. I'm going to have to do a better job with that so it closes properly. This big drawer across here. Drill bits of every type and other are here. Pull saws, router bits, just bits, Sawzall blades. Also, I think, yeah, jigsaw blades. That's just kind of all of this stuff. That type of thing goes in here. Oh, look, there's a socket in here. That should not be in. I'll put that here for now, and I'll deal with it later. By moving the flash, I just made this drawer. This is now pry bars and chisels. This is basically if you want to destroy something made of not steel, this is the drawer for you. Clamps of the C-clamp kind, because I have other welding clamps in another place. Corded power tools. bigger corded power tools. Yeah, and then that's it. This is empty now, so this and the other one can go away. So yeah, nice little bit of infrastructure change. Condensed a bunch of tools into there. They now have more space, because it's not just that all the tools that were in them fit in there, but also they fit in there with more space. Some of those drawers were looking really cramped. So this is really nice. Super happy about this. And you'll see it in the background of the videos. I'm got a couple of infrastructure things. I'm waiting to get some steel. I'm supposed to buy a bunch of steel off a guy, but he's not getting back to me. So there's a delay there, but I have a plan for this, because if you look at it right now, it's proud of the bench. So I want to lower it down, and then I'm going to build something else around it to take more advantage of the space of it. You'll see what I'm doing with that. And then I have all these machine shop bins that I picked up, that once I get the steel, those are going to get a shelving unit built for it, so that those can get cleaned up and they can be storage of bulky stuff that might be messy. So like one of those can be all of the cans of paint for the, or two of them can be all the cans of paint for the car. And if one of those cans of paint, after I poured it out, has some on the bottom and I put it in there, who cares? So yeah, that's another plan as soon as I get that. But good little infrastructure thing. Make the garage a little nicer to use. Give me some more space. And that's it. So, thank you all for coming along with me on this sorting my tools episode. And I will see you later. I do have an episode in the works with regards to all of this. I was hoping to get paint on this today, but I'm looking at the weather outside and it looks like it's going to get damp. There was some suspicion of that today, which is why I prioritized this. But this is all ready to paint now. It basically just needs a final blow off and wipe down, and then the primer is going to go on this. So yeah, talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye.